looks like we're going to be getting the race under started here in just a few moments. All right, looks like we're getting going. All right, looks like right off the bat here, Kelpsey taking a slight lead. Faster getting an accidental damage boost in the wrong direction there. Greens is mainly just focusing on trying to get rid of as many sprites as you can in order to reduce slowdown and reduce dropped frames. So looks like they're pretty much neck and neck right now. It's going to probably come up to the Poppy fight here. Poppy Bros can either give us bombs or a dance. We do not want to get the dance. We want all bombs. Unfortunately, it looks like Kelpsey and FasterSuperSonic both got the dance. So at least they're equal. Also, shout out to my fellow burbs in the chat. Gotta acknowledge that I am a part of that community. Can't deny it. Not trying to hide my biases here, folks. All right, so it looks like they're practically neck and neck going into the climb here. Both getting pretty good times here. So let's see how Wispy is going to treat our runners today. See if we're going to get wind or if we're going to get apples. All right, both runners making it into Wispy practically at the same time. Kelpsey getting good RNG with no wind. Faster unfortunately getting some wind there. Looks like Kelpsey got perfect RNG there. All right, Kelpsey's definitely got a slight lead on Supersonic. Looks like we got about a 6-second lead for Kelpsey. All right, Kelsey going into Castle Lolo here. All right, both runners getting pretty good movement through this first part of Castle Lolo. Nothing too crazy going on in the first part of this level. Mainly going to be focusing on the fights. So in this first mini fight here, you want Lolo to be on the top rows if you can, just because they're slightly faster. Kelpsey getting kind of mediocre RNG there. Supersonic getting about average. Honestly, best case RNG does not save that much time there. But you will notice in like RNG manip and stuff like that, people try to get it on the top row. All right, Kelsey getting very good movement, going for the double hits here. Oh, unfortunately, just missing them. The damage boost just pushed her barely out of the way in order to, like, she was just barely too far to get it. Still getting very good movement here from both runners. No one missing any shots or anything. Kelsey's a little low on health, but she should be totally fine. Supersonic, oh, not going for the double hits there. They got a setup for it, but it would have been very tight. All right, Kelsey getting very good time there. All right, heading into Floaty Islands here. It looks like Kelsey's got about an 8-second lead right now. Floaty Islands is one of the most difficult sections of this run, especially this first room here. There is just a ton of enemies. There's a lot of sprites caused by the cannons as well. And every sprite on screen will just slow down the game once you get to a certain point. Those seeds that you see on Kelsey's screen also lag the game a very weird amount, like a lot more than other sprites. You can notice both runners trying to basically just get rid of as many sprites as possible as they move through the level. Kelsey and Supersonic both getting very good movement through that first section and through the cave. Supersonic opting to go over the top of the shell creature there. It's slightly faster to go over the top. Saves like maybe half a second at most. Both runners opting to go curryless through this section here. The curry is definitely a safer strat, but it loses a bit of time, mainly just to lag. All right, we got both runners going into the Kabula fight here. They're pretty much neck and neck right now. Their screens were like practically synced up to scroll past each other there for a moment. Kelpsey and Supersonic both playing really up close here. Both got a lot of health. You can basically just truck through all those hits. Both getting very good times here. It looks like Kelsey has only got about a 2-second lead now, so Supersonic definitely caught up a bit in that section. It's one of the hardest sections in this game. Supersonic going for the Starfy jump basically tied it up. That jump between those 3 Starfies saves a bit of time, but it is very precise. They are neck and neck right now. Kelsey has a just barely slight lead here. Both runners going for pretty similar stress to this room. Kelsey going for a little bit more lag management, but unfortunately missed the shot and puts her slightly behind. Oh no, there's the death from Supersonic. Oh, that's very unfortunate. That's a pretty painful death. That loses quite a bit of time. That definitely helped pad out Kelpsey back into the lead. Dying at the end of any room is definitely hurts. Kelsey going through my least favorite room in the whole game. Supersonic now as well. It's got a lot of vertical and horizontal movement, unlike most stages. It's also just a ton of flying enemies that get in the way. Supersonic got pretty good movement there and ended up getting rid of most of them. Ooh, just barely avoiding that Gordo as well. Oh, they definitely played it a little safe there, but it pays off because you do not want to die, especially again in this stage. All right, Kelsey heading out of the Cracko Jr. fight again. That's a scripted fight, so you see both runners basically doing the same thing. All right, Kelsey heading through the wall here. FasterSuperSonic just finishing up that Cracko Jr. fight as well. Supersonic getting the swag glitch. By picking up that power-up at the same frame that you go into the water, it basically throws Kirby's sprite into the background layer, or behind the background layer, I guess. But it has some interesting effects in that all the backgrounds are over top of Kirby's sprite. It can make it pretty hard to get onto the wall, but it looks really cool. So I always say go for it, but that's just me. My runs live and die by the swag strat, so I don't know if you guys should listen to me. Alright, Kelsey going into Cracko here. Big RNG gatekeeper for this run. So far, not bad RNG. Getting a Waddle Doo pretty quick. Ooh, getting another Waddle Doo. Getting good RNG so far. Lots of lemons, but it's not terrible. Wow, very good RNG. Getting a Waddle Doo like every other is incredible so far. Yeah, every 2 for that one. Yeah, very, very good RNG for this Cracko fight so far. Almost optimal so far. Yeah, that was literally like 2 extra attacks from an optimal RNG. Like, we just got finished watching Speedman's race against Reeler, and Speedman did RNG minute through there, and the best RNG that you can get is a Waddle Doo every other. And Kelsey got every other except for on 2 of them, meaning that she got almost perfect RNG on that. That's gonna make it difficult for Supersonic to catch up, but it is not unheard of. Supersonic's been getting about average RNG through this Cracko fight, so not setting them back a terrible amount, but Kelsey definitely padded out her lead. Alright, Kelsey into the Lola Lala refight. Supersonic just now heading into DDD, Mount DDD. Kelsey getting a setup for the double hits, but often not to go for it. In the refights, personally, I always opt to not do the double hits, except for in that exact configuration that Kelsey just got, because you can do it damageless very easily. Double hits without taking damage is very difficult, and in Mount DDD you don't get any health back, and so you've got to be careful with how much health you have going into the DDD fight, because you don't want to take a death on DDD. It is one of the most painful ways to lose a run. Supersonic excellently taking a little bit of damage there, but that's alright. They're still doing pretty good on health. Going for the double hit, but just barely missing it. If they had been facing the other way, I think they would have got it. Kelsey taking it pretty risky, staying pretty up close. Not as close as she could have been, but that was very, very clean Kabula fight. All right, Supersonic going in for Cracko 2, same as Kelsey. I believe Kelsey is one fight ahead. Let's see if Cracko's going to be as nice this time as he was last time. So far, off to a good start. So far, good RNG. One off from perfect RNG for Kelsey right now. Kelsey is currently only 2 extra attacks behind perfect RNG for this fight as well. All right, 4 extra attacks now. This last one's taking a minute. Supersonic got pretty good RNG through that fight as well. Not perfect, but pretty good. Definitely better than average. Got out of there slightly faster. But yeah, Kelpsey's getting incredible RNG through both of those Cracko fights. All right, they're both heading into Wispy now. Supersonic getting a little bit of wind there. Kelsey also getting some wind. This is still a pretty close race. I would not count Supersonic out just yet. Kelsey getting some more wind there, unfortunately. Kind of a slow Wispy fight. Alright, Supersonic heading into the Kabula refight. Last refight to go. Kelsey heading into DDD. She got 4 health. If we see a death here, Supersonic could easily catch up. 4 health seems like a lot, but it's super easy to get trapped here in DDD. It's very easy to get stuck in the corners. Something to note is you'll notice Kelsey standing pretty close to DDD. That's in order to get DDD to end his attack animation sooner. DDD will basically stop or land on the jump where Kirby was standing when they started the animation. So the closer you stand, the faster the fight. So far, pretty good RNG here for Kelsey. Supersonic down to 1 health in the Kabula fight. They're going to be going into DDD with 1 health here. It's a little sketchy. We'll see if they take the intentional death. Yep, they're going for the intentional death to get the health refill. Kelsey getting pretty decent RNG here from DDD. Very good execution from Kelsey as well. She hasn't taken a single hit from DDD here. And she's definitely been going into the corners, so she's not been avoiding it. Supersonic not getting great RNG here. That's it for Kelsey. Kelsey takes this match. Official SRL time of 12:42. I believe that is less than 10 seconds behind her PB, which is incredible for a tournament setting. If her PB is the same as it was when I last looked, it was like a 12:36. So 12:42 is pretty good time. Supersonic is just not getting the best RNG here from DDD. Looks like got a couple stars in there. I think that death was definitely a big part of what hurt Supersonic there. I think without the death, it would have been significantly closer, but Kelsey did a very good job, very good execution through there. And that Cracko RNG does not hurt. That good, near perfect Cracko RNG does not hurt at all. But FasterSuperSonic putting up a great race. Very good execution. All right, now don't go anywhere. Don't forget, this is a best of 3 tournament. So we got at least one more race coming up. If Supersonic takes the next race, then we got 3 races total. So we got at least one more, possibly 2. So don't go anywhere. But also, shout out to the Burbs in the chat. GG to Kelsey, great run. Also very good run for Supersonic. Guys both got very good times. So GG. So stick around. We'll be getting underway here in just a few moments. We're just gonna give the runners a chance to take a second, take a drink of water, get some back end stuff set up, and we'll be underway here in just a few moments. All right, the next race is underway. Going back to greens. Again, this level is pretty cozy, nothing too special. Mainly just focusing on lag reduction in this stage, as well as hoping to get some decent RNG from Poppy Bros, as well as Wispy. Luckily, there isn't terrible RNG in this stage. Poppy Bros can be kind of annoying, but yeah, unfortunately, we're seeing Kelsey get the dance. But yeah, this stage is mostly just about lag management. There's a lot of sprites. The platforming is pretty basic. So really just trying to figure out the best way for you to cancel out sprites in the way that makes you feel comfortable that you like doing. That's kind of the fun thing about Kirby as well, is you'll notice different runners do cancel out different enemies, swallow different enemies, or spit them, or whatever. There's a lot of different strats you can use to get through the room, basically just depending on what you want to do. So even though Kelsey got that dance, still pretty close. Both going into Wispy now. Supersonic getting some wind here. For anyone new to the tournament or unclear on the layout, the little Kirbys down by their by the timers will show how many races each runner has won. So Kelsey won the last race. All right, so Supersonic and Kelsey both finishing up Wispy here. Supersonic having a little bit of trouble through that first room, but only losing a second or two. It looks like Supersonic has about an 11-second lead right now. So that could easily be switched up by any of the number of RNG factors we got coming up soon, like the Lolo Lala fight. The patterns definitely play a big role in if you're going to be able to get those double hits or not. So we'll see if that is going to change anything up. Supersonic getting mediocre RNG here in this mini fight. Getting the RNG in the mini fight isn't a huge deal. Kelpsey getting slightly better, marginally better RNG, basically the same. Both runners getting pretty good movement through this section overall. Supersonic going in, getting the setup for the double hits, but unfortunately just not in a spot where they were able to get him. Getting him right off the bat there with where you start, where you spawn out, can be pretty difficult. Kelsey went for it, got the same setup, but unfortunately just barely missed it. Going for double hits again. Just barely missing it. Might go for the backup here, though. Backup double hit from Kelsey. Good job. If you miss a double hit like that, if you don't spit out the box, you can save it by going up and getting 2 hits like that and by hitting them from behind. So that definitely helped them save their time a little bit. Supersonic going into Floaty Islands here, one of the most difficult courses in the run. Looks like Kelsey's got about a 9 or 10 second behind of FasterSuperSonic here. So Supersonic's got a little bit of a lead to work with. Ooh, Kelsey having a little bit of trouble with that first platform. It's super easy to get stuck under the ledges in this level, especially the ones by the water. And the dangerous part about the ones in the water is that you can fall off the bottom of the screen when you're in the water, which will cause you to die. It's like falling into a pit. So pretty dangerous. Little swag bounce there from Supersonic. Supersonic going for the top blocks again, slightly faster. Little optimizations in this game are kind of a big deal. They add up over time, and you really just will take any small optimization you can when you're dealing with so much RNG. If you know the manip, it's a slightly different story, but not many people do at this point. It's pretty new. Supersonic getting very good movement over the boat there. Again, both runners opting to go curryless over the boat. Saves a little bit of time, a little bit sketchier, but not bad at all. Not too difficult to do it without the curry, especially if you get consistent movement every time. You know where all the enemies are going to be, so. All right, very good Kabula fight from Supersonic. Again, opting to play very up close. Again, in this first fight with Kabula, you're gonna probably have a lot of health, so you're really just gonna want to try to stay up close and clutch through that fight. Supersonic heading into bubbly clouds now, going for that Starfy jump, just barely missing it, unfortunately. Getting a little bit of rebound. Getting a little bit of rebound on that second Starfy as well. All right, Kelsey heading into bubbly clouds now as well. Supersonic's definitely gotten a little bit of a pad on their lead, but we'll see what Cracko has to say about that. Supersonic getting some pretty good lag management through that room. A little bit of slowdown, but nothing too bad. Kelsey opted for the safe route with that Starfy jump back there. It's definitely not a bad move. It only loses a little bit of time, and it helps you keep up your health through this level. And in this level, I would say, in my opinion, it's probably the hardest level to keep your health up in. And one of the easiest ones to die in, especially with this room that Supersonic's in right now. It's very easy to take a lot of damage. The Gordos do 3 health, which is pretty rough, and a lot of the other enemies in this room can be a pain to deal with. For example, the Starfies, if you don't know, if you try to suck them up, they will just start chasing you instead. So you have to just kind of avoid those. Also, if you shoot them, there's like a AoE around them where you'll just take damage. So you have to be pretty careful with a lot of these enemies. Whether it be the ones flying around or the Gordos, which also fly around in this level, or all the Starfies. Want to try to keep your health up. Alright, Supersonic is now finishing up with that Cracko Jr. fight. Supersonic getting the glitch again. Very stylish. Surprised they didn't go for the water bottle there. Trying to save the frames. I thought that with that lineup they were going for the water bottle to get a slight health refill, but nope. They're going as fast as they can. They don't need it. Alright, Supersonic making their way up the climb here into Cracko. Kelsey not too far behind, going through this career room, then they got the climb in there into Cracko as well. So RNG could definitely cause some changes in the lead here, but let's see what Cracko has to say. So far, it's being pretty nice to Supersonic and pretty good RNG. Decent RNG so far for Supersonic. Decent amount of lemons, decent amount of back and forth, but getting wild is about every 2 to 3, which is about average. Cracko is apparently a big fan of Kelsey today because Kelsey's getting pretty good RNG. So far, she's got model dues every other or every 2. I don't know what Kelsey's doing, but she's getting very good RNG. Definitely is helping her catch up a little bit on Supersonic here. Supersonic got about average, maybe slightly better throughout that fight, so not bad at all. Helping them keep that lead, but Kelsey catching up quite a bit with the RNG there. So definitely the lead is getting smaller. Heading into the Lala refight now. Alright, we'll see if we're going to get good patterns here from Lolo and Lala. Might go for the double hit here. Unfortunately, just was not in a great location. They're a little too far away. Might go for double hit here as well. Kelsey went for it and just barely missed it. Might get the backup double hit. Kelsey gets a backup double hit. Faster getting the last hit there. That double hit should help Kelsey catch up a little bit. Catching up slightly to Supersonic. Alright, Supersonic going to Cracko 2 as Kelsey makes her way to the Kabula refight. See if Cracko's going to be nice to Supersonic. So far, not so bad. So far, perfect RNG. Yeah, Supersonic's getting great RNG from Cracko right now. Getting Waddle Dees about every other to every 2. It's very good. This is near perfect RNG for Supersonic this round as well. I believe that was, yeah, exactly 2 extra attacks from perfect RNG, similar to Kelsey's earlier Cracko. So both of them are getting very good luck right now. Let's see if that continues with Kelsey's Cracko 2 here. Starting out with some lemons, that's not a good sign. Alright, we got some Waddle Doos though. Supersonic going into Wispy now. See if they're gonna get some wind or some apples. Kelsey getting good RNG so far from Cracko. Getting Waddle Doo about every other to every 2. Alright, yeah, Kelsey got also very good RNG on that Cracko. The Cracko RNG in these races so far has been kind of ridiculous, if you ask me. Both runners are doing very well. Getting very good execution, getting very good RNG. I believe Kelsey got 3 extra attacks on that Cracko, meaning it was like almost perfect RNG again. I believe Reelers was slightly faster, though, because I think they got only 2 extra. Both of which is pretty unheard of, to be honest. That's very good. Kelsey getting a lot of wind from Wispy, though. Alright, Faster Supersonic going for the risky strats. They got full health. They're just trying to clutch it out. Kelsey getting a ton of wind from Wispy on this fight, unfortunately. Definitely going to lose some time. Supersonic going into D3. Kelsey also going into D3. RNG is going to play a big role in who is going to come out on top with this race. This is incredibly close. Both runners are tied up right now. Kelsey has 1 health lead on D to D. Oh, unfortunately, Supersonic was in the air for that and missed that hit. Definitely helping Kelsey with her lead, just very slightly. Kelsey's only a few hits ahead. Kelsey getting very good RNG on this D to D fight. Supersonic is getting about average, getting more in hills and more runs. They're tied up now. Supersonic taking the lead back. They're tied. I was wrong. They're tied. Now Supersonic takes the lead back. Kelsey tying it back up. This is incredibly close. This could come down to the last hit on D to D. Both runners not getting great RNG from D to D. Supersonic getting 1 more hit in. Supersonic getting 2 hits in. Looks like this is gonna be it for Supersonic. Supersonic takes this race. Supersonic with an official SRL time of 12:46. It's a very, very good time. Again, very fast. That was crazy, crazy, crazy close. Let's see some game 3 hype in the chat, everybody. We got 1 more game coming up tonight. We got a game 3. First game 3 of the night, I believe. So very exciting. Do not go anywhere. These races have been very crazy close. So make sure not to go anywhere. We got one more race coming up. Say give us just a few minutes and we'll get set up for that. So yeah, GG to Kelsey and Supersonic. Oh, by the way, Kelsey is official SRL time of 13:03. DDD RNG definitely not being great there at the end, but that's all right. Because we got one more race, so we'll see who's going to be able to clutch this out. So yeah, give us a few minutes, we'll get set up, and we'll be right back. All right, game 3 is underway. That last race was absolutely crazy close, so I'm very excited to see what we have going on with this one. Both runners getting good movement here through greens. Looks like Supersonic barely ahead by maybe half a second. All right, we'll see if either runners are going to get a dance here. All right, looks like Supersonic got the dance this time. First time, neither of them got, or they both got it. Last race, Kelsey got it. This race, Supersonic got it. So I'd say pretty fair RNG over the course of the 3 games. All right, Kelsey and Supersonic both heading through the climb here. Kelsey's got a slight lead. All right, going into Wispy here. Both runners getting pretty good RNG from Wispy here. Oh, spoke too soon. Kelsey got a little bit of wind. Reeler also got some wind. Oh no, Kelsey has to go a little bit into the next cycle because they missed that apple. Still ahead though, still managed to make it out ahead. Pretty good time there from both runners. Looks like Kelsey is about a 7-second lead on Supersonic right now. Again, first part of Castle Low is not too crazy. Not a lot of platforming or lag management you really need to do in these first couple rooms. They're pretty small. Mini fight here. Looks like Kelsey got pretty good RNG. Supersonic got, looks like so far, yeah, I'd say mediocre RNG. 2 on the bottom row is pretty bad. So that'll help pad out Kelsey's lead by maybe a second or so. Still very close. All right, Kelsey going into the Lola fight here, getting double hits right off the bat. Seeing that early setup for the double hits is very cool. Going for double hits again. Oh, two double hits. Oh nope, looks like they decided not to go for it. Just barely missing that. Oh no, just barely missing that cycle. That's all right. They got a double hit, so made up for it. Supersonic not getting good patterns, unfortunately, just not getting the good setups for those double hits. Alright, Kelsey going into Floaty Islands here. Again, very rough stage. Has a lot of tight platforming. Kelsey getting just stuck under that platform a little bit again. It's alright. It's very easy to get stuck under those. Looks like Kelsey has about an 18-second lead on Supersonic right now. So she is sitting pretty safe as of right now. Doing a good job of canceling that microphone. It's very easy to accidentally spit that microphone out there. Alright, Supersonic making their way through this outdoor portion with pretty good movement as Kelsey heads through the cave here. Both runners getting good lag management throughout. Alright, Kelsey making pretty good progress here as they get onto the boat. Supersonic making their way through the cave with very good movement, pretty optimal, going for that top row again. Pretty sure we'll see curryless here from both runners again. Yep, looks like both runners opting to go above the curry. Again, just saves a little bit of time with the lag management. Dewey, to answer your question, Kelsey definitely got some better RNG, and Supersonic had a few small blunders with their movement that just caused them to lose a little bit of time in that last section as well. But a big chunk of it is RNG, yes. Kelsey and Supersonic both getting pretty quick fights with the Kabula. Again, first fight with Kabula is basically free, as long as you make it through with decent health. If you get through there with low health, it can be a little scary, which is not unheard of because Floaty Islands is pretty difficult, but yeah, if you get up there with decent health, it's basically free. Kelsey going for the safe strat again with those Starfies. Not a bad idea. That jump is very precise, and it's definitely just... It hurts to lose time by bonking against him. Supersonic going for the triple Starfie jump, making it. Again, jumps super tight. Very fun to see. Supersonic and Kelsey making pretty good movement through that lag room, canceling out a number of the enemies. Those lemons slow down that room a lot. Waddle Dees really getting in the way for that lag room there. Outdoor section went pretty good for both runners. They're getting good movement. It looks like Supersonic is managing to catch up quite a bit. They've gotten some pretty solid movement through this section. Yeah, it looks like Supersonic is only about 3 to 4 seconds behind now. They have managed to catch up a lot. Alright, going into Cracko Jr. here. Alright, looks like Supersonic's about 7 seconds behind. So Kelsey's still in the lead, but not by much. This is definitely anyone's race, and Cracko could have a lot to say about who's in the lead right now. Alright. Both heading out of the Cracko Jr. fight here. Kelsey opting to go for the health refill. This is going to just shorten up that lead even more. They are very, very close now. But Kelsey and Supersonic both have full health, which means that hopefully we won't be seeing a death, which is good. Both runners making their way through this curry room. This room can lag quite a bit. It can help to pulse the curry instead of just holding down the button in order to mitigate lag, but even then, it can be pretty difficult to get through that room quickly. Both runners going with a little bit of safe strat there, going to around the Waddle Doo in order to kill them. You can just make it under them, but it's kind of precise. Alright, starting off good for Kelsey, getting 2 Waddle Doos pretty much right off the bat. Supersonic getting 2 pretty quick as well. Kelsey getting very good RNG so far. Kelsey's getting basically perfect RNG so far. Oh no, Kelsey missing that shot, unfortunately. It looks like they got damage boost, and their damage ended up eating their inputs. So they weren't able to get that jump. Kelsey only 1 hit ahead. Supersonic tying it up. Whoever gets the next Waddle Doo is in the lead. And it looks like Kelsey is just barely in the lead by about a second or two. It is incredibly close. Both runners got very good RNG through that fight. Kelsey's was near perfect until the very end. I believe it was perfect until the very end. So both runners heading into D3, going into the gauntlet. Super close. Let's see how close. 3 seconds apart as of right now. Kelsey is only 3 seconds ahead. Losing about a second there to a bad damage boost. So about 2 seconds ahead now. It is incredibly close. These patterns from Lolo and Lala could determine who comes out on top after this refight. Kelsey going for the double hits, just barely missing it. Luckily, let her had her set up pretty well. Same with Supersonic. Both runners getting very good movement through this section. Kelsey getting the setup for the double hits, but just unfortunately was not in the right location for it. All right, looks like Kelsey is about a second and a half ahead right now. It is incredibly close. It's going to be hard to keep up with, given that they do different orders for the refights, but we'll see what happens when we go into D2D. We'll see if Cracko's going to be nice to Supersonic again here. Got pretty good RNG last time. So far, good RNG for Supersonic, getting Waddle Doo right off the bat. Not getting great RNG right now. Got 3 attacks. 4 attacks before a Waddle Doo. 5 attacks. Ooh, that's pretty rough. 6 attacks before the Waddle Doo. Kelpsey making quick work of that Kabula fight. 7. 8. Oh my goodness. This is painful to watch. 9. 10 attacks in a row with no Waddle Doo. 11. Oh my goodness. This is hard to watch. That's 13 in a row with no Waddle Doo. Oh my goodness. Kelsey is definitely in the lead now. That was 14 attacks without a Waddle Doo. That was insane. That was absolutely awful. Ooh. I don't know how Supersonic found themselves on such a terrible RNG seed, but that was hard to watch. They're basically tied up in the Cracko fights, and I believe Kelsey is an entire fight ahead right now. And I believe a lot of that is due to that insane RNG. I guess that was Cracko's way of repaying Supersonic for the good RNG previously. Kelsey getting pretty good RNG throughout that Cracko fight, a little bit better than average. So Kelsey's gotten amazing Cracko RNG through this entire match. Supersonic got very good RNG up until the end there. It was pretty rough. Both going into Wispy here. I believe Supersonic had a little bit better movement through that small platforming section. It can be kind of tight, especially with the flight and trying not to damage boost off of any of the enemies. Supersonic getting a lot of wind from Wispy too. RNG is not liking Supersonic right now. They are just managing to find all those bad RNG seeds, unfortunately. Alright, Supersonic heading into Kabula now. Kelsey just finishing up that Wispy fight and heading right into D3 with a pretty hefty lead. Good RNG from DDD right off the bat with the hammer hit. Not great RNG so far, though. Getting runs and inhales. Oh, there's the hammer. Alright, Supersonic heading into Kabula here. Got pretty good health, so they're probably going to take it up close as well. Kelsey getting pretty good RNG for DDD so far. Alright, Supersonic heading out of that Kabula fight, making pretty quick work of that, and heading in. Kelsey had about a 30-second lead going into DDD, as in they got into DDD 30 seconds faster, but their RNG has been about average, so if Supersonic gets really good RNG, you never know. Also, Kelsey's at 3 health. Death here would not be unheard of. Going for the damage boost in order to get that hit down to 2 health. Alright, Kelsey's got 1 hit left on DDD. Alright, and here's the last hit for Kelsey. And that's it. Kelsey has won this match against Supersonic. GG to Kelsey. Let's see those burbs in the chat, everybody. Super great race. That was incredibly close. That RNG for Supersonic was awful. That was super hard to watch. Definitely helped boost Kelsey's lead a bit. super great run from both runners, though. We saw a really good game there. Supersonic not getting good DDD RNG, unfortunately. Looks like Kelsey finished with an official SRL time of 12:52. Again, pretty good time overall. Supersonic getting a time of 13:47. I will attribute most of that to Cracko. They definitely had a few small blunders with RNG and a little bit of movement issue slightly in the beginning, but almost all of that is Cracko. They got, I believe it was 14 hits without a Cracko, so pretty terrible. But GG to both runners. That was fantastic. If you guys want to stick around for just a moment, we're going to try to get them in here to do some commentary. So just give us one moment. Looks like we have Kelsey in here. Hey, Kelsey. GG.
Hey. Yo, thanks for the GGs. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Great race. You had pretty incredible Cracko RNG throughout that entire match.
Yeah, the last one, yeah, for sure. Second race, I think, was alright. First one was not so good. I didn't deserve that RNG. I played so badly. I think I had 2 missed hits on 2 bosses. It was, like, super terrible. I'm like, man, I should do this. Ugh.
Oh,
gosh.
Yeah, but... it was definitely wild. And then for Supersonics, Cracko 2, they got 14 hits in a row without a waddle do on Cracko.
No, that's so bad.
It was awful. It was awful.
So bad.
Yeah. You were like...
I think like I got RNG'd pretty hard on my second DDD. That was, oh my god. I was so mad.
No, you got pretty bad RNG on that DDD. That was not fun to watch. But yeah, no, that Cracko was pretty ridiculous. Like you guys were really, really close. I think you had about a second or 2 lead going in there, and then just 14 Crackos hits in a row. We're just like, oh well, that definitely will pad that out a little bit. Hey, Supersonic. Looks like we got FasterSuperSonic joining us. GG, how's it going?
Hi.
Hey, GG. Well played, dude. I heard I was just told about your terrible, terrible RNG, Cracko. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
That was one of the worst Cracko RNGs I've ever seen. I counted it out, and it was 14 hits in a row or attacks in a row before getting a waddle do.
Yeah, that last race was full of bad RNG. For me.
Sorry to hear it. I think I got pretty lucky, like, with both Crackos at the end there, and then, yeah, I mean, that's the thing about this game, it's all about the end, you know? It's like, I played really badly in my third game, and I was expecting to be really far behind, because I had, like, 2 missed hits and 2 different bosses. Like, I just completely whiffed 2 hits, and I was expecting to be really behind, so I'm so sorry.
You guys were honestly really close for pretty much for like all of the races. You guys were really close most of the time. Like for most of the races, it was like a few seconds apart at max, like 10-15 seconds until that awful Cracko at the end.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad it was close at least. That's always a fun thing to watch for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, GG's to both of you. That was definitely a good race.
Thank you.
Do either of you had anything you want to highlight that went really well or really poorly or anything like that?
No, I think like the thing about like this is my 3rd race or my 3rd match that I've gone to game 3 for best of 3, and I like noticed that like in game 3 I kind of get into like a daze and I kind of forget what I'm doing, and I'm like, oh wait, I need to like focus here, like, so I get really Kirby'd out real quick, so but yeah. I don't know if that happens to anybody else, but I definitely happens to me, and I'm like,
Yeah, after like watching the same screen so many times, like so tense.
Yeah.
Just kind of like, oh no.
And the music, you know, you just like you hear it's just very repetitive, you know, so you just kind of get into this trance.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. Well, again, great race from both of you. Is there anything else you guys want to say or plug before we close up the match for?
Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for being here.
Supersonic, do you have any closing comments or plugs you want?
No.
Well, thank you both so much for jumping on to do some little interviews here at the end. Appreciate it.
Of course. Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, of course. Well, GG to both of you. Kelsey, good luck on your next race. Supersonic, thanks so much for being in the tournament. It was so nice to get to comment some of your races. It was super fun to watch.
Yeah. Thanks for commentating.
Yeah, no problem. It's my pleasure. Love doing commentaries for all the Kirby stuff. It's fun times.
Y'all have a good one.
Thanks, you too, Kelsey. All right, well, I guess that just about closes things up here for us. Again, thanks to everybody for joining us here again for another Kirby's DreamLand Cracko Question Tournament. Shout out to all the burbs out there in the chat. Shout out to Hey408 and FD Duck and Aaron and all you guys. See you guys hanging out in the chat. Thanks for joining us. Thank you so much to Speed Gaming for having us on tonight and hosting this great event. Thanks again to the great Todd Man for getting all this going for us and bringing us all together to have this fun event and getting to do this. Thanks to everybody for letting me do commentary and joining us on everything. And yeah, and thanks again to the runners for putting on such a good race. Again, go ahead and give the runners a follow if you want. FasterSuperSonic and Kelsey. I know Kelsey usually does a lot of link to the past rando stuff, so if you're into that, you can check that out. If you want to watch weird, Fairly Odd Parents for the GameCube speed runs, you can check out my channel. I'm on pretty irregularly, but if you're interested in that kind of thing. Yeah, I guess just thanks again to everyone involved, and thanks again to everybody hanging out with us on chat and everything. So hope y'all have a great night. And take it easy. Oh, actually, before we close out, let me look at what other races we got this weekend. All right, so it looks like we got 2 races tomorrow. Don't want to forget about those. We got MK Cocoon versus Mapler or Mache, and that's going to be going on at 9 p.m. tomorrow. And then we also have a race between Thomas IM99 and Belfic at 10 p.m. Both going to be probably very good runs, so make sure to check those out. It should be pretty exciting. Yeah, just thanks again to everybody for joining us, and hope y'all have a great night. Take it easy.